So this is from OnlyWaifu, and it's called A Katana Breaks Elden Ring Once Again, so let's watch it.
Miyazaki has a very kinky thing for feet and katanas.
I mean, true.
But I think we were all familiar with that by now, right?
Yeah.
You may remember Rakshasa's great katana from such films as this Sane Trina short, and the patch 1.13 update where we briefly talked about the buff to its Ash of War called Weed Cutter. Talking to Stilovsky about a video we're planning on making, Rakshasa's great katana came up as currently one of the best weapons in the game. And after performing some testing, we can safely say that, yeah.
Holy.
It's absolutely nuts.
But Ranny, why is it nuts?
Wow, glad you asked.
Rakshasa's great katana is a new DLC weapon obtained after teaching Rakshasa who's the one true weeb in the land of shadows.
Is that how you get it? You gotta be the one true weeb? You gotta show them what you've got. Show them what you've got.
His little used tampon ain't got nothing on this girthy
why'd you have to call it that?
In its entirety a dexterity weapon, as when maxed it has a B scaling in dexterity. It boasts similar moves to the rest of the great katanas in the game.
Gross.
Except for its infinitely more practical heavy attack.
Oof.
Part of its practicality comes from being a poke-type attack, and also being able to roll catch with ease after a running attack. However,
that's pretty great.
The weapon is great. The real reason behind the weapon's status as an absolute tumor is its special hyper armor.
It has hyper armor?
Struggler VA made an interesting video about hyper armor values, in case you haven't seen it. The gist is that certain weapon types give a certain amount of hyper armor that correlates with their corresponding class. Naturally, weapons with higher poise damage will have greater values of hyper armor to compensate for their comparatively slow swings. Best example of this being colossal weapons and colossal swords, which...
So, I kind of don't understand this. I guess I'm a noob. What does hyper armor actually do? It lets you power through attacks. Okay.
Both boast the higher hyper armor and poise damage in the game. However, in the case of Rakshasa's great katana, a very funny thing occurs. Contrary to what you may think despite their name, great katanas do not possess hyper armor on their hits.
You will always get interrupted.
The power of great katanas resides in being a super high damage weapon class that keeps...
So basically, if an attack has hyper armor, you can't be interrupted. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
Priority 100% of the time on their hits, with insane reach and quick enough attacks hugely helping in this regard. The other two weapons in the class are pretty balanced as they are, with the regular great katana being the best of the two. However, when introducing hyper armor to a weapon class that is already extremely powerful, bad things happen. Rakshasa's insane scaling, combined with the fact that it has the same hyper armor as great axes, make it so that this weapon hardly loses any trade, and hyper armor trading in PvP is extremely powerful because
I bet. Sorry, I keep interrupting, but like, so I'm guessing hyper armor works okay with really big colossal weapons because it's like it already takes so much for you to even throw a attack at someone. Like, you're already using like a lot of stamina and strength, and like your weapons are like super slow. So like, it makes sense it'd be on the bigger weapons, because when you finally are able to get off an attack, it's like you would hope it would land, since it took you 5 minutes just to frickin' hoist the weapon up and back down.
Negates gameplay for a very large group of weapons.
Yeah, but when like it's a katana, when it's like a really fast weapon, you know, that's not heavy, and now you can move around quickly. It's like, oh god.
Specifically,
that's very OP,
ones with less poise damage. Rakshasa users simply need to stand their ground and wait for an opportunity to simply go in and seize priority until they run out of stamina. And don't dare to get hit, because you're looking at nearly half of your health bar gone.
My goodness.
And if the pressure this thing puts on you wasn't already the equivalent of a Redditor sitting on top of you, the bleed buildup will most likely finish the job of making you shit your pants.
No!
Oh, I've been impaled.
If insane hyper...
Oh, I've been impaled. Yeah, so also it probably builds up a status quicker, right? It probably builds up your statuses a lot quicker since you're using a dex-based weapon, and now you can't be interrupted.
armor on a weapon that should not have
Oh,
it doesn't
no.
sound insane enough. What if I told you that one-handing it provides the same hyper armor as two-handing it?
That's so overpowered. How do they... Is this something they overlooked, or is this like they have secret favoritism for this weapon? Like, how does this happen?
And this works even when you're using the weapon in your left hand, giving place to many types of builds and combos that pretty much exploit Rakshas's insane properties.
2 guaranteed hits. Oh my...
If you ask me, the two-handed moveset is much better and can exploit the power of the two-handed talisman to its fullest. But one of the things
Ooh, I use that talisman for my big bonking weapons.
Weapon absolutely ridiculous is its Ash of War, called Weed Cutter.
Oh, the weeb cutter.
Fuck this. Watch this.
It deals 2 horizontal slashes with forward momentum that deal a big chunk of damage and can be chained into itself until you either run out of stamina or FP.
Oh my god.
The biggest selling point of this monkey slashing is its absurd hyper armor, capable
You're
of
just
tanking
swinging
colossal
around.
swords.
Bro, you're just windshield wiping the competition to their death, man. Uninterrupted windshield wiping with bleed on it.
And winning the trade at the same time. Of course, there are ways to fight the thing, like using Endure with Starfists.
Ooh.
Or
The
using
power
a
of the
colossal
punch.
weapon. Or keep mashing with high hyper armor, like curved greatswords, while you're trading with the guy to stun the enemy out of it. Still, even if it has counters, the attack is so stupidly good that sometimes simply mashing it against people can easily pull off the win.
Yeah, because like if you look at it, right, it's like it's not a hard moveset to pull off. You could literally just spam this ability.
And thanks to the forward
my
momentum,
God.
it has very good roll catch potential for low latency matches.
But hold on, Ranny. Doesn't this katana have a debuff that lowers your resistances when you equip it? Wouldn't that make it balanced?
While it is true that Rakshasa's Great Katana gives you a resistance debuff, this only applies when you're actually swinging your weapon, not when you're standing still.
Oh my god. How does that happen? Like, aha, you thought I would be inconvenienced, but I was standing still the whole time. Like, talk about just standing there menacingly. All defense is lower when you swing. Then return to normal! Oh.
This kind of defeats the purpose, because when you swing your weapon, you gain
They were just standing there, menacingly!
hyper armor, which gives you additional defenses. So when the game makes the calculation for how much extra damage you will receive, this amounts to a measly 2% resistance reduction.
Oh my god. So even when you are hit with the debuff, it's only 2%. Oh no.
Which is an absolute joke. And that's
Oh my god.
not even taking into account defensive buffs like the opaline cracked tear or boiled crab, which will completely negate the resistance.
Oh my god. Just like pop me a little snack and I don't even notice it anymore.
Debuff. This weapon is absolutely insane. Super strong, piss easy to use, and very hard to counter if a competent...
I mean, it's a DLC weapon. What's your point? What is your point? Does that make it somehow better? Does that make it somehow, like, excusable? Because there's some broken weapons in the base game, too.
player is using it.
And of course, here comes the moment in the video when we teach you how to turn the katana she tells you not to worry about into an absolute gooner-slapping machine. First of all, this is a dexterity weapon. So a dexterity-focused inventory is the best choice. We're aiming for level 150 Vagabond with 60 Vigor, 43 Endurance, 24 Strength,
Here comes the
65
numbers.
Dexterity, and 12 Faith. The 43 Endurance points will allow you to use this complete inventory without the need of the Great Jar Arsenal to increase your weight load, leaving you space for 3 offensive talismans. These are the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, the Lacerating Cross Tree, and the Spear Talisman.
Oh, wait, what was that last one? Enhanced attacks with two-handed weapons,
And
right?
its sword talisman, the lacerating
Enhanced dash attacks. Oh, so is the Ash of War considered a dash attack?
cross tree, and the spear talisman.
Wait, this one's for... Oh, is it because it's considered a thrusting weapon?
And its sword talisman, the lacerating cross tree, and the
Enhances counterattacks unique to thrusting weapons.
spear talisman. These three little good boys have amazing synergy with Rakshasa's entire kit, amplifying damage on your overall moveset. The bull-goat talisman will help you tank as
Oh, raises poise. Yeah, so you get even more poise.
many weapons as possible.
Since you can't be interrupted, this is just pay and pecco for anybody else.
And will increase the things you can poise through with Weed Cutter. This particular combination of armor works perfectly with this inventory, as switching between your usual loadout of weapons won't cause a fat roll, unless you make weird combinations in your slots. As for the gameplay, it's very simple. Simply focus on trades and chase downs, as the katana will usually win them effortlessly. With all of this knowledge, you can now become the ultimate weeb.
Yes, the ultimate
I
weeb.
still think you would find my hand much more fun to play with, though.
But you know what's even better than Lady Melania's body parts? Mystery thingy. Sorry, it's been a while. I was on vacation in Paris. Pretty nice chocolate they have there. The mystery thingy of our last video was the beast claws. So congrats to the little chocolate bunnies who answered correctly. Here's our new mystery thingy for today. So comment down below which
Beast
one
claws seems like a cool weapon.
And as always, thanks for watching, little Chevrolets. Bye.
That was super entertaining and silly. See, here's my problem is that I don't really care for meta with weapons. I pick up a weapon and if it looks neat, then I start throwing it around in my hand and I like it, then I'm like, okay, I'll go build that. So my problem, chat, is that like I will be that person that picks up this weapon. I will pick up this weapon and I'll be like, oh, it looks good to me. And then like I won't know that I'm actually using like a super toxic hated weapon that like is used to like exploit certain things in the game, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just thought it was cool because it was red and the attack it did looked fun. That's my toxic trait. So I'm guessing this weapon's gonna be hated, right? Rip. I just wish I get to use it before it gets nerfed to the ground. I say you guys should give it a try. Especially in like single player, just to mess with it, you know?